Perfect. Okay. Light. All right then. Kind of wanted a tornado lamp, I'll be honest. But I'll make do. I'm peeking. I'm peeking. Oh, I probably want those two, huh? Well, at least my man's got a plan.
In my wake, pulled along. Fate inescapably draws you on.
Okay then.
What a putrid offering.
My lord. Am I in like a dream state right now? I feel like this is like the guy's dream.
Fight. You have been chosen. Behold. Everything has already been written. But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
It was a dream. I know it.
I hate whiskey.
That damn fireball.
I wonder why I still take these things.
Well, I mean, when in Rome. My name is Booker DeWitt.
Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
The doctor can well repeat to me that I no longer need my remedy to keep my memories at bay. But I know that if I stop, the memories will return. One of these mornings, I probably won't wake up. Despite the treatment, I again hear voices in my dreams, but they are different, unknown. They seem to surface from unfathomable and ancient depths. What nameless creature is calling me? Oh boy. My old lighter, lying engraved in the memory of the 77th Infantry Division, the men of the Lost Battalion who fell. Alright then.
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology.
My name is Edward.
A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy.
The bar owner who hired me didn't like the way I closed the case. But when you're already outside the law, there's not a lot one can do against a private detective who's got proof against you. Damn, I'm good.
Married woman runs off with her girlfriend.
The husband never understood
Husband
his wife
couldn't
had left
understand.
him. Kept on calling me weeks after the investigation had been closed.
I used to be an avid reader. The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases.
J.G. Wentworth. Someone call me? Hey, if I'm
I'm
calling.
listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
Mm-hmm. Investigation represents your investigative talents, proving your skill increases your chance of understanding past events and analyzing a crime scene or an object, and at picking locks. Eloquence represents your ability to influence those you talk to by the power of speech. Proving the skill increases your chances to convincing or manipulating during discussions. Strength represents your ability to call on physical power. Proving this skill increases your chances of forcing doors or mechanisms or using violence during interactive discussions. Medicine represents your medical knowledge. Proving this skill increases your chance of determining the doses of a drug, of making a diagnosis, or of expressing your understanding of a medical problem. Occultism represents your knowledge of the occult science, improving your skills and your chance to determine the use and origin of occult artifacts, and of expressing your knowledge of the myth. Psychology represents your knowledge of human behavior. Improving this skill increases your chance of understanding the motivations of a person based on his or her behavior or the analysis of objectives. Spotting represents your ability to find hidden objects. Improving this skill increases your chances of finding hidden objects and undiscovered objects will not appear in game. Yes.
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, are you still...
Oh, the mutton chops.
I'm
Oh no, he's
coming.
got a full beard now.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, a and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
Right
If
then.
you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl, she is dead.
Oh,
Even you must know of her.
are all the little
She
girls
was
Sarah's dead?
Sarah Hawkins.
Oh,
The
Sarah.
Yes.
The Last of Us will never heal.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a
Case
thing.
closed. She
But
worships
if you
Cthulhu.
have no proof,
Or she worshipped
I've
Cthulhu.
brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
what am I
They played
supposed to
Destiny.
find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on
change
the
in audio,
desk.
but
It contains everything I have on the affair.
Bit wild.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
A shipping label. Some of it is unreadable, but I can make out the part of the address, Warehouse 36, Darkwater. A repeat report. It says that the fire started in the dining room and claimed the whole family. The police decide on a domestic accident, but they nevertheless insist on Sarah Hawkins' mental frailty. Why? In a press cutting, an article written about the marriage of Sarah and Charles Hawkins, a businessman from the island of Darkwater. They live in a recluse life with their only son, Simon. And the painting.
What's this symbol on the man's chest? It's as if Sarah Hawkins breathed a message into it.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
Absolutely fucking nothing.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
Darkwater? Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
The meaning could be exactly as it appears. I think your daughter is sending you a message.
That's what I believe, too. It was 3 months ago that I received the call from the police telling me of my daughter's death. And yet a short while after, this painting was delivered to my home. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. Police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right. I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater.
Clues. All right, then.
I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island in there.
Hey, look at that.
The Lost Battalion. Holding your position and obeying orders. That isn't courage. I used to be an avid reader.
Okay.
Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then.
Where I'm from, we call it Far Harbor.
All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater. I should get rid of all this stuff.
Well then. October of 1924. Is it the Battle of 1878? Yay! Pierce took the Hawkins case. The cursed artist was accused of having caused the fire that killed her and her family. As the only clue, she left her father a disturbing painting on a shipping label and address, a warehouse set on the docks of the island of Darkwater. The place seems to be the starting point for Pierce's investigation. Hey, I finished chapter 1. Look at me. Oh, I have to. 1924, Darkwater. After accepting an odd investigation into the death of an artist and her family, I find myself sailing into the unknown. Perhaps while I'm here, I'll find a connection to these weird dreams I've been having. This mysterious benefactor.
We're almost there.
He's gonna die. It's just how we always used to do things. The ship would wreck and we just leave it there. He's moving cargo before he even ties the boat down.
There's guys coming to unload. Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
Please move back. Let the police do their work. Hey,
Oh
Sullivan.
no.
Can't you go any faster?
Someone murdered Willie.
This thing is. If we force it too much, we'll break everything.
You can't do that.
The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
Ah. And so who are you?
I didn't introduce myself. Edward Pierce, private detective.
In any case, it's not very important. I can't answer that.
You can't? Or you don't want to?
Oh, no. I'm not getting into those games, me. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad. Don't put that...
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you...
You can see that I'm busy, can't you?
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real...
Well, whatever that was, I failed it.
We go where we want.
Hey, you'll get us into trouble.
You're already in trouble.
There's nothing for you here either.
Can we
Beat
sort this
it.
out? You can see he's half drunk. There's nothing to sort out. Your chump wanted to stir us up.
You can stay to watch it.
Hmm. Whoops.
Hey, be careful. Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
You saw it just like me. That bum deserved a lesson.
Yeah, but he's a regular, and you're not.
I can see that you and I are off to a bad start. I'm here for information, not for a fight.
I prefer it that way. Speak then. I reserve the right to answer or not.
Captain Fitzroy told me about a little pick-me-up.
Oh, yeah? That must have been before you came looking for a fight in my bar.
Oh, come on. Because of a little tussle.
Drinking it here is a privilege, and I grant the privilege to whoever I want. Anything else?
Do you know where this place is? Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
The Hawkins warehouse. I see, yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Yeah, well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable?
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
The stranded whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of Darkwater, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
You can have that drink
Captain
now?
Fitzroy told me about a little pick-me-up.
Oh, yeah?
Nope.
That must have been before you came looking for a fight in my bar.
Oh, come on. Because of a little tussle.
Drinking it here is a privilege, and I grant the privilege to whoever I want. Anything else?
Alright.
That'll be all for now.
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens. We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course. They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
It's a local legend?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report.
What report?
The one that's framed right behind you. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
All right, then.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
What are you buying?
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
The Scylla returns to port to save Darkwater from famine. We had given up hope. The crew of the Scylla, of what remains of it, returned to Darkwater port late on Tuesday afternoon. The locals immediately rushed to the docks to welcome the last whaling ship of the island. People were amazed at the sight of the unbelievable catch the brave vessel had poured. Of a size that went from the formidable toothed whale, the cetacean, that is already being called the miraculous catch, covered the whole deck, and parts of it were hanging over the side of the ship. The surviving sailors told the frightening accounts of their perilous catch, but also of its meat, unmatched in its quality and plentiful nutritious benefits. There is no doubt that the immense size of this whale will allow numerous inhabitants of Darkwater to feed themselves, bringing an end to the famine from which part of the island was suffering. Warehouse rent. Mr. Marks is putting in his warehouse up for rent for June for fishing. Workshop or storage activities, you can contact him via your favorite newspaper or visit him on the docks.
And then he said, "You have no right to treat us like this."
And the doctor, what did he say?
He laughed.
My God.
You said it.
Alright, weirdo.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader.
What you looking at, stranger?
I've rarely seen a woman who can hold her liquor so confidently.
What gives you the right to judge me?
Ah, it was a compliment.
So what? Let me drink, stranger. I told you to beat it.
Well, damn, bitch.
You have no right to treat us like this.
And the doctor, what did he say?
He laughed.
My God.
Charles Hawkins was a heavy drinker. And a debtor. Interesting. A souvenir from a more prosperous era. I guess this blackboard hasn't been wiped for more than 70 years. The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor.
Certainly doesn't look that well. Yay!
This man and Fitzroy could be twins. What a macabre souvenir.
Hey man, if it works, it works. Never been one to understand nautical charts.
Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover.
Ah, the royal throne.
Broken. This place seems half abandoned. I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
Your terms of agreement are clear. Keep your men under control. You cannot afford to provoke us. No need to answer the message. Just make your payment to the carrier. Cat.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
Okay.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. But that's all I'll get from them.
Well, apparently they were written by Ron Swanson, because everything's redacted. There it is. There's the ship.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
I was looking at your photograph. The one of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
I found a threatening letter signed by a certain Cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
Killer whales don't have many known predators.
That's true. And normally, they're not found around here. But, you're gonna take me for a fool.
Give it a try.
Have you heard about the depths? Trenches that plunge into the earth, and that shelter creatures unlike any other.
You're talking about mythology.
Ha! Indeed, you're right.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least. The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailor's return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
Yeah, I didn't get my free drink.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I'm surprised Charles Hawkins had goods to store, knowing that whaling stopped in 1847.
I see that you're interested in the history of our island. Indeed, maritime activities ceased altogether at the end of the last century. I imagine that the Hawkins family had other types of contracts.
But you don't know with whom?
No, it was none of my business.
I wonder if I could find like a cult of Cthulhu in real life.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Some character points. Maybe we can upgrade something. Oh. So 6 CP no matter what. Sanity.
Oh yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble. You can't understand.
What could have done so much damage?
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. They're cops. They can't understand. Damn stupid idiots.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm not here to hinder your work, officer. Edward Pierce, private detective.
Sorry, we're all a little on edge today. What are you doing here?
I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
Darn it. Why do you want to drag up all that stuff again?
My investigation has led me to this warehouse.
That case was closed months ago.
Who are these others so interested in the warehouse?
And why would I tell you?
I'd like to know more about the Hawkins case.
I don't think so.
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone.
Well, we're gonna have to go by
You
that
again.
guy.
I told you to beat it.
No, you didn't.
No need to get worked up. You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the Navigator.
He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to dark water?
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. And more.
If only.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
Oh, they seem like lovely gentlemen.
St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in.
So, like, can I reinvestigate these things later? Like, when I have my skills upgraded?
Trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Come on, you could tell me.
No, if it gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who.
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway.
hidden. They'll never know I was listening.
No idea. You better keep it shut. What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
Gentlemen, you have a problem.
What? Who do you take yourself for, stranger?
Your boss is very unhappy with your work.
Oh yeah? You're bluffing.
She said those knuckleheads are incapable of staying at their post.
Darn it.
You think he's telling the truth?
We'll find out. Prove that you really know Cat.
It's risky to question my word. I wouldn't like you to get cut with a certain Italian knife.
Okay. You've convinced us.
And she sent you? What do you want from us?
I have to take a look inside the Hawkins warehouse. Leave me alone, and I'll put in a good word for you with Cat.
Okay. It's a deal.
What can I say? Silver tongue. Eva.
Let's see. Perfect. Oh, this place stinks. What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case? Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks.
Is it? Yeah, it's fish. Yeah. I'll say, is that fish?
Can't sleep. I know how that feels. Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings? What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here? What happened here?
What if there's something else I gotta look at, man? Damn. Officially unused since Shaw Hawkins' death, this warehouse recently housed a clandestine resident. Signs of life attest to the fact. The presence of blood-stained bandages must also be noted, probably removed from the wounds, as well as pills, painkillers, and sleeping pills. Moreover, the occupant seems to be obsessed with Sarah Hawkins, as attested by the presence of several documents connected to the artist's life, photographs, press cuttings. But it is the discovery of a partly charred painting, recognized by Officer Bradley as having come from the Hawkins mansion, that allows all doubts to be lifted to the link between the contents of this building and the Hawkins case. Amazing. professional. Everything, except for medicine and occultism. Apparently I need to find books to increase.
Oh, someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! Detective Pierce. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
Look around you. Someone has settled in here. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene. Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why you?
My boy ain't even that
Come
big.
on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf? I've got my eye on you. Again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Hey, we're on to chapter 3. Pierce managed to get into the warehouse. The place, thought to be abandoned, revealed some surprises. Signs of recent occupation, as well as a partly charred painting. Interrupted in his searches by Officer Bradley, Pierce convinced him to join his investigation. The police officers were willing to drive the detective to the Hawkins mansion. This guy's already had an intro. Like, look at the freaking scar on his face.
Well, here we are, Hawkins mansion.
It looks fine.
The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
I saw a few options.
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. so he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
You won't get me to believe that it looked any better 3 months ago.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around, it would seem. So,
Well, I am
since
a
you already
detective.
know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels.
Maybe.
Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
You should know damn well I got all the questions.
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age.
Huh?
A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee.
Okay.
If you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
That didn't work for no other reason.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
Well, if you're honest, you're the first cop I
Night
ever met.
falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
Hmm. I mean, you know, 2 full chapters. This seems like a good run. I can't say if it's getting interesting or not, but there's definitely some potential here. We're gonna have to come back and definitely play this again. This mechanics don't seem super difficult. And if it's just something I just have to run around and not die in, then it's feasible that I can actually complete the game. I won't have to fight the longer it takes. So, we'll see where it goes. Until then.